Hello, welcome back. We are going to look at NQ for the weekend, how we are going to deal with this. We are making new highs. It's obviously a little bit harder to supply and demand trade, so we will go over what we're doing, what we're thinking. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for coming back. If you have questions or need help or anything, let me know. If you want to trade live with us every morning, watch me trade live. The link for the Discord is in the description. And yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, the further that we move away from here. So if we keep pushing up, the further that we move away, the less really zones we have, right? How do you trade supply and demand if it's like this? I mean, we're about to make all-time highs, like forever, right? Actually, I think we did. Yeah, we did. We're over it. So how do you trade supply and demand now that we're all-time high? It gets a little bit difficult, right? That being said, that is kind of when we're going to start turning into a little bit more breakout trading. If we're up here on a massive bull run and we're pushing green all the way up here, it becomes a little bit hard to supply and demand trade. You don't really have any indication of supply and demand, at least not until you get enough price action built up in that area, right? So it's going to be quite a bit of breakout trading, to be honest. We are making new all-time highs here. Here, we'll get down into the daily. Just a nice clean up trend for the daily. Not too much to say or really look at here, but you can see beautiful uptrend, broke it, moved up, same thing. Beautiful uptrend. Was actually kind of holding this channel, but same thing, pushing up. This is on the daily. As we're moving up and up and up, yeah, we have less to really work with the supply and demand. We'll probably have to turn to a little bit more of a breakout trading type of strategy, which I'm totally happy with. It's a little bit more, I guess, fast-paced moving. It's a little bit quicker moving, but there's no problem with that. It'll be a lot of momentum trading. Here, one sec. Let's go to the 4 hour and take a look. So this is what it looks like on the 4 hour. This is what I usually mark most of my zones off of. 90% of the time we're looking at the 4 hour. If we're kind of going off all of this, you can see, so to the downside, if we start pushing all the way down, something I would be looking at is probably here. Oh, it's not gonna let me draw my lines. Oh, here we go. Okay, so what I'd probably be looking at would be somewhere down here, somewhere in this area, just based on the taps, the consolidation, all of the consolidation here. And then same thing, the rejection here, came up, rejected it, came up, rejected it, rejected it. We did gap over, and after we came back down, we didn't really touch it again. So we will have levels that are going to be further up here, but just starting down here, I would mark that off at a zone 16.068.50. But that being said, we'll come up here. That being said, a way stronger zone that we're going to have is going to be somewhere like this. You can tell just based off of the rejection off here. So we came up, rejected it, came back down, and then we actually gapped over it, went the contract rollover. So big gap up. It's just a contract rollover. That's all it was. But we held perfectly above it. We did go down past it, and then we wicked back up and held the body above it. So nothing under this yet. So this is going to be probably the main zone, 16,200, which is it's 198.50, but yeah, 16,200. It was probably a psychological level that turned into a real support level, but I would say something like that. So you don't really need this one. It's kind of useless unless we get down to this. It's useless to have anything lower than it. We are super far away from here. We don't really have anything close, right? Very far away. If we try to mark a level that's closer, it's not going to be as strong, but probably just these, just based on the dip. I was talking to another buddy today, and we were looking at charts. And, the only thing we can see to the downside is just going to be this 16,662.75. So you can see just based on the rejections here, and then the hold here. That's all it was. I'm sure the EMAs helped here, but that's all it was. And it's not extremely strong, which makes me, yeah. So if we go back to the daily, we try to confirm it further back. There's not a ton of confirmation. There's a little bit. We have consolidation here, we have a rejection here, and then we did come back up, consolidate under it, and reject off of it here. So there's a little bit to go off of, but it's not like an extremely strong level. Now that we're up over it, there is a chance that we just keep pushing. We have nothing holding us back. We're starting to make new all-time highs. So it's not terribly strong, but it is something to work with right now. So there's that. We'll go back to the 4 hour for a second. Being that we have been moving more into the momentums and more into the breakouts, because we don't have as much price structure around here, we're obviously going to mark off the top. So I will probably mark off the bodies. The wicks are just over it. I'll mark the bodies off. But that's how I would mark that zone off. So we'll see. We could get a break and a retest. We could come up and consolidate and reject off of it. We just have to see how price reacts when it comes near it. If we stay in this zone until open tomorrow, that would be nice. I don't really want to be down here. I don't want to be up here. I would like to be somewhere in the middle of this zone. Obviously that changes a lot, so we might have to reevaluate in the morning. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. We like to get one above us. We like to get one below us. Get a level somewhere. I'm never biased. I'm not going to say it's going to reject off here. I'm not going to say it's going to explode past it. I kind of just like to see price action and see what it's going to do. So I would like to open up in this zone, somewhere in here. This is probably going to also be our red area. You know how we always draw an area out in the morning? We say we're not trading in here. It helps our over trading and everything. There's a good chance this will be our red area. That will obviously change if we're up here. It'll change if we're down here because we can take trades back into it, but I might steer clear of this area tomorrow. We'll see. We're kind of holding the EMAs up. We're holding a little bit of a trend up. It's nothing crazy, but we're holding a little bit of a trend up. So we can also watch if we come back down and we sit here and we hold this and squeeze, we might build a little wedge here. But until that happens, that's nothing that I'm really looking at. I just want to see how price reacts up here. If we come up here and we start rejecting off it again, come up, slam down, and we'll still wait. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. This is what I see as the two closest zones. And then, yeah, like I said, if we take this and we start building a wedge here and we form a wedge, then maybe we'll pay attention to it. But we're still a little bit early for that. Just keeping an eye out. That's kind of the way I'm looking at this. If we fail this, we'll probably bounce off this again. But if we fail this, we could kind of look at shorts down to somewhere in this zone, somewhere where it was getting held up here. But I would kind of like to see a bounce around this area. That's kind of what I'm thinking. If we get a fat push down, no consolidation, and just bounce off here, that would be nice. That would also kind of be breaking this nice uptrend we had, so it could break it and then come back, hit this zone, and then go back to retest the trend. Obviously all theory, but we just got to see how price action reacts. If we come down to like here and then correct it, come down to here, correct, and build like a nice staircase down, I probably wouldn't take a bounce. I would be more inclined to think it's going to keep pushing past the level. But if we're sitting up halfway to 60% up this zone and we get a nice spike down, that would be beautiful. Keep in mind, there's a good chance we're not even going to be anywhere near here when we open tomorrow. We could be up here, we could be down here, we could be here. I just like to do this on Sunday to get all the brains rolling. When we're done on Friday, I don't even look at a chart. I don't look at a chart all Friday. I don't look at a chart all Saturday, but I like to kind of just pick it up for 10 or 20 minutes on Sunday and do this. That way, if we come up here tomorrow and we push up here, we could still just use this zone because it's still the zone, but we'll just have to kind of decide. These won't really change, just the way that we're going to trade them is going to change. Yeah, 662.75, which is it's still kind of far away from us. It's almost 200 points away from us. So there's a chance we don't even see this. There is a chance we wake up tomorrow and we just kind of sit here and we kind of fuck around in this zone and we get nothing, which every time I've said that, we always still get a trade. We haven't not had a trade in a very long time, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Once again, yeah, same thing with this little wedge. We'll kind of see what's happening with it, but we're still super early for that, so I'm not even going to pay attention to it until it's forming right in front of me. We're going to watch this nice uptrend. The trend is your friend and there's no reason to fight it. So if we keep pushing up, we'll see. We might reject off here again, but then we might squeeze and just pop up, right? If we're kind of building a wedge up here and we're squeezing up towards it, if we just squeeze and we're at new all-time highs, there's nothing holding us back, fuck, we might just explode, right? But yeah, I'm just going to take what it gives me. I'm not going to try to predict it. I'm just going to do what it tells me. I'm going to look and trade accordingly, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm just marking off the top of this for now, 16,879, and then the bottom of this, 662. It's super simple, super straightforward. I don't think I know what it's going to do, and I definitely don't, but all I'm going to do is do what it tells me. If that makes sense? That kind of sounds weird, but if that makes sense? I just do what it tells me. Yeah, here, one sec. My cat's scratching at my door. I gotta let her out. One sec. Yeah, so if we go back to the daily, yeah, you're gonna hear my cat screaming, but that is basically it. The farther we push up, the farther we get out of this price action, or I guess away from it, new all-time highs and that sort of thing, the harder it becomes to kind of supply and demand trade. We're super comfortable breakout momentum trading, so we'll probably do quite a bit of that. That depends. Obviously, if we push back down, if we're somewhere in here, we even come back down here, who knows, right? But that should work for us. Super simple levels, and just yeah, take it how it goes. Okay. Yeah, so once again, looking at this, super simple. We got to be careful. If we try to short past this, we got to be careful because this is a zone as well. I'm just marking off this one as a closer zone just because we stopped a giant push down like this. This is what caught the falling knife. Big wick, body held, and then wicks here too. Yeah, so this is what caught the falling knife. This is what I'm looking at. This is stronger. But if we took a short through here, we got to come down. We got to make sure, like, look at these candles as well. So we got to be super careful. But that's also 30 points away. So as long as we have proper risk management, like if we took a short past here, we took it down to the last low that got wicked out, like even if it hits here and comes back up, this is a winning trade. Like this should not be break even, this should not be red. If you can't get a trim off at 30 points and close the rest at break even, you should be working on your risk management instead of this. That's what we did Friday. Yeah, because we have those days where we have a 30-point winner, a fucking 50-point winner. But yeah, on Friday, we had like two 20-point trims, or like a 25-point trim and a 20-point trim, and then closed back at break even like twice. But fuck, I don't care. I just manage my risk. I think I still made $700 on the day. Like, yeah, whatever, right? There's absolutely nothing to be upset about. We're choppy days. If we still make money on the choppy days because we're being smart, like, god damn. Live to survive another trade, right? Or another day, I guess. But yeah, I see James and Juliana. You guys are just getting in here. I'm finishing up basically. I'm going to put it in the Discord. I have this thing recorded, so I will put it in. But what I was saying is, I'm gonna see if we can open up in this range. I don't really want us to open up here or down here. I want us to open somewhere in the middle of this range, and I want us to maybe come up, reject, and then slam through it and start making new highs, continue this uptrend. Or if we fail the uptrend, we're still, it's not really a nice line drawing uptrend to see, but if for whatever reason we fail this uptrend, we could always come down, hit this, and bounce again to come back for a break and retest, or who knows, right? We'll see what price action tells us. But I'm marking off the high. I'm marking off this that stopped the falling knife here. There was also a couple wicks, but yeah, caught it here. This is on the 4 hour, by the way. That's basically it. We also looked at this zone earlier, but it's so far away, it means nothing to us right now. If we come back down, then yeah, this will mean something, but as of right now, the 200 means nothing. I got 879 and 662. Once again, thank you for watching. If you need help with anything, if you have questions, concerns, anything, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, that would be amazing. And yeah, if you want to trade live with us every morning, if you want to watch me trade live, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description. And yeah, thank you so much. That's amazing.